The Kalahari awakens under a vast, pale sky. A line of meerkats stands silhouetted against the rising sun. The first rays of the sun spill over the horizon, painting the endless dunes in shades of apricot, painting the endless dunes in shades of rose. It is a world of stark beauty, where life must be resilient to survive. Before the heat of the day takes hold, the desert is still and silent, holding its breath. Then, from a small, unassuming hole in the sand, a dark nose emerges, twitching, testing the air. Soon, a small, sleek head follows, its dark eyes blinking in the growing light. This is the first scout of the meerkat mob, a cautious pioneer venturing into the new day. One by one, others join, slender bodies popping up from the network of burrows like small, furry periscopes. They are a family, a tight-knit clan bound by instinct and necessity. They stand together at the entrance to their subterranean fortress, backs to the cool morning breeze, faces turned towards the rising sun. With the sun now climbing higher, the time for stillness is over. The group moves out as one, a fluid and coordinated unit flowing across the sandy plains. The alpha pair often leads the way, formation loose, individuals spread to search, heads down, noses twitching, reading scents in the sand. Every slight disturbance is noticed, every tiny track is a clue. Searching for food, beetles, scorpions, lizards, the occasional succulent root. The desert may look barren, but it's a larder waiting to be unlocked. The sound of busy scratching fills the air. They excavate with powerful rhythmic strokes of their forepaws. Sand flies in little plumes. Close up, meerkat digging furiously in red sand. To be a sentry is to accept a profound responsibility. Perched on the highest available point, this lone meerkat becomes the eyes and ears of the entire mob. Its posture is one of intense concentration, a small upright statue against the vast open sky. The job requires unwavering focus, for a moment's lapse in attention could have catastrophic consequences for the family foraging below. The sentry is not just looking, it is listening, attuned to the faintest alarm call of a bird or the distant drone of an approaching predator. It is a high-stress occupation, a selfless act for the good of the group. The sentry communicates with a complex vocabulary of calls. A low, continuous peeping sound is the all-clear signal, a reassuring murmur that tells the foragers they can continue their work in peace. This constant background chatter is the soundtrack of their security, a sonic blanket of safety. But should a threat appear, the tone changes dramatically. A different call signifies a predator on the ground, such as a jackal or a snake, while another, sharper bark is reserved for aerial threats like eagles. The group below understands these distinctions instantly, responding with the appropriate defensive action. This system of vigilance is a rotating duty. After a period of intense watchfulness, the sentry will let out a specific call to indicate its shift is ending. Another meerkat from the foraging party will then leave its digging and run to take the post, allowing the former guard to descend and find food. This seamless transfer of responsibility ensures that the mob is never left unprotected, and it distributes the burden of the watch fairly among the adults. It is a beautiful example of cooperative behavior, where individual sacrifice directly contributes to the survival of the all-important group. The courage of these small sentinels is immense. To stand exposed while the rest of the family is hidden or foraging is an act of incredible bravery. The sentry is often the most visible member of the mob, making it a potential target. Yet, day after day, they take their posts without hesitation. This dedication is the cornerstone of their society, the invisible thread that weaves individual lives into a resilient and successful family unit. Without the sentry, the busy work of survival would be impossible in this land of ever-present danger. The Kalahari sky, for all its beauty, is also a hunting ground. High above, a martial eagle circles on broad, powerful wings. Its keen eyes scan the landscape below for any sign of movement. For the meerkats, this bird is their most feared predator, a winged death that can strike with breathtaking speed and precision. The foraging mob is acutely aware of this danger. A shadow passing swiftly over the ground is enough to make them freeze. Heads snap up to scan the blue expanse. The air, once filled with gentle foraging sounds, tightens with unspoken fear. Suddenly, the sentry's all-clear peep is shattered. A piercing, urgent bark rips through the air. The alarm call signals imminent peril. The reaction is instantaneous and absolute. In a flurry of sand and panicked motion, the group abandons its search for food. They bolt for the nearest burrow entrance. No confusion. No hesitation. They move as one, low to the ground, a tawny streak against the red earth. Pups, often the slowest, are nudged and herded by adults to ensure none are left behind. The eagle dives, a magnificent, terrifying, feathered missile. It plummets toward the earth. But the meerkat's early warning system saves them. Their network of bolt holes gives them a crucial advantage. They pour into the safety of their underground sanctuary, just as the eagle's talons slash through empty air where they stood moments before. Down in the cool darkness of the burrow, the family huddles, hearts pounding in unison. The immediate danger has passed, but the scent of fear lingers. After a few tense minutes, a brave scout cautiously pokes its head out to check the coast. Only when the all-clear is confirmed does the family re-emerge. They remain skittish and on high alert. This encounter is a stark reminder of their vulnerability. Life in the open is a constant gamble, a trade-off between the need for food and the risk of becoming food. Their survival depends not on fighting, vigilance, speed, the life-saving architecture of their underground home. As the sun reaches its zenith, the Kalahari becomes an oven. The air shimmers with heat, and the sand is too hot to touch. The intense energy of the morning forage gives way to a necessary period of rest. Activity across the desert dwindles as most creatures seek shelter from the oppressive midday heat. For the meerkats, this is a time for siesta. The group retreats to the shaded entrances of their burrows, or finds refuge under the sparse canopy of a camel thorn tree. The frantic search for food is temporarily suspended in favor of conserving precious energy. During this lull, the social bonds of the group are reaffirmed. They lie in relaxed piles, their bodies draped over one another in a tangled heap of fur and limbs. This communal rest is not just about staying cool. It is an act of deep social connection. The physical contact is reassuring, a silent communication of trust and belonging. Pups snuggle close to their mothers. Pups snuggle close to other adults. Older members may groom the younger ones, gentle claws combing through fur, removing parasites and strengthening family ties. Even in rest, they are not completely off guard. One or two individuals often remain awake, eyes half open, acting as lazy sentinels. Their watch is less intense than during the forage, but they remain aware, listening for any unusual sounds that might signal danger. The midday heat deters many predators, but the risk is never zero. This relaxed vigilance allows the rest of the mob to sleep more soundly, secure in the knowledge that someone is always looking out for the family, even during a siesta. This period of calm also offers a moment to appreciate the subtler aspects of their existence. The playful pup that still wants to tumble. The weary elder who sinks into a deep sleep. The attentive mother who keeps a close eye on her offspring even as she dozes. It is in these peaceful interludes, between the desperate scrambles for food and the terrifying flights from danger, that the true nature of their family life is revealed. It is a life built on cooperation, affection, and the simple shared pleasure of a shaded nap on a hot day. As the afternoon sun begins to lose its ferocity, the meerkats stir once more. The second foraging session begins a calmer, less frantic pace. Teaching and learning come to the forefront. An adult corners a scorpion but does not kill it. The adult calls over a nearby youngster. The adult carefully removes the scorpion's sting. The adult presents the still wriggling scorpion to the pup. Pup watches with wide-eyed fascination. They learn which insects are safe to eat. They learn how to tackle tricky prey. They learn where the best foraging grounds are. This is cultural transfer, not instinct alone. A pup handles its first scorpion, a milestone. Adults watch, patient teachers. Bonds go beyond tutoring. Meerkats act altruistically for the group's good. If one is sick or injured, others bring food. Or they stay close to offer protection and warmth. Babysitting is a cornerstone. 1 or 2 adults remain at the burrow to guard pups. These tutors sacrifice feeding for the young. This social web lets meerkats thrive in an unforgiving world. They aren't the strongest. They aren't the fastest. They aren't the largest. Their strength is unity. Alpha pair leads the group. Sentries watch for danger. Tutors care for the young. They act as a single superorganism. Together, they are greater than the sum of their parts. As the sun dips low, bleeding spectacular hues of orange, purple, and red across the horizon, a change comes over the Kalahari. The air begins to cool rapidly, and long shadows stretch across the dunes. For the meerkats, this is the signal to end their day's labor. The final foraging session concludes, and the mob begins its slow, deliberate journey back towards the main burrow. Their pace is unhurried, a stark contrast to the panic dashes of the day. The pups stay close to the adults, their playful energy finally beginning to wane after a long day of discovery and adventure. Gathered at the entrance to their home, they perform one last ritual. They groom each other, reconnecting after the day's activities and reinforcing the social hierarchy. There is a final, careful head count as the alpha female ensures all members of her family have returned safely. One last sentry often takes a post for a few moments, standing silhouetted against the vibrant twilight sky, its final watch ensuring a safe entry for all. Then, one by one, they slip down into the darkness of the burrow, disappearing from the world above. Deep underground, in the insulated warmth of their communal sleeping chamber, the family settles for the night. They curl up together in a single large pile, a heap of intertwined bodies sharing warmth and providing comfort against the cold desert night. This physical closeness is their final defense against the darkness and the predators that now roam the land above. In the safety of their fortress, protected by tons of earth, the anxieties of the day melt away. The frantic foraging and the heart-stopping escapes are forgotten in the deep peace of collective slumber. The stars emerge, a brilliant, silent canopy over the now sleeping desert. The wind whispers softly over the burrow entrance, the only sound in the vast stillness. Down below, the meerkat family rests, a small pocket of warmth and life in the immense dark landscape. Their day, a cycle of vigilance, toil, fear, and affection, is complete. They have survived another 24 hours through their extraordinary cooperation and unwavering family bonds. As the Kalahari night deepens, they sleep, gathering strength to greet the next sunrise and begin the cycle all over again.